สวัสดีครับอาจารย์ครับผม
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone who is interested is welcome to join. We shall begin with our first participant, which is Felicia Chan. Felicia?
Yeah. Good evening, Ajaan. I don't have question for tonight. My practice so far so good. But Ajaan, I will be away again starting next week. I will fly to Thailand this Sunday and stay at Wat Khao Yai for 44 days. I will focus on my practice and hope to achieve better result this time.
Good. Okay.
Ajaan, I wish you well and healthy. See you when I come back.
Okay. Mindfulness is very important. Okay, mindfulness and
Okay.
and jhana. Try to get to jhana.
Okay.
Okay, good. Next, Johanna.
Okay. Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay.
Good evening, Ajaan. Ajaan, I have this fear of
Speak louder.
Oh. Is it louder? My voice, Ajaan?
Yeah, better now.
Ajaan, I have this fear of seeing blood. Like when my fingers are bleeding, sometimes I still get nervous. Is there a way to tackle this fear, Ajaan, of seeing blood?
Just putto.
Oh,
okay.
Using mindfulness.
Yeah, just putto. And then when your fear will disappear, and you use putto. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Ajaan. Thank you very much.
Okay, Ralph from Nongru, Thailand, Pattaya.
Namaste, Ajaan. How are you?
Good, thank you. And you?
I'm not too bad, thank you. I'd like to ask you about mindfulness tonight. Just being mindful during the day. In my personal experience, I try to stay mindful either by watching what is happening to myself. In other words, say if I'm walking, I'm watching the experience of the walking. But most of the time, my mindfulness is almost like I put a filter across my experience and try and keep in mind all the teachings when I experience the world, and remind myself, by chanting Bhutto, or, sometimes repeating the Four Noble Truths or the Eightfold Noble Path. Do you have any advice how, because I do lose track of doing that, and then, my mind wanders off into my day, and I forget about mindfulness until I have to kick myself awake again. So I'd like to get your advice on how to slowly improve on that.
Well, the problem is your surrounding doesn't help you with your mindfulness. Your surrounding keep distracting you from your mindfulness.
Yes.
So you need to go to a place like the mountain that you used to go, when there's nothing to distract you.
Yes, I'm planning again. I'm looking forward to come again in April.
Yeah, you need seclusion away from the central objects around you.
Right.
So you just have to do the best you can. Just maybe you can make a point to check your mindfulness every 15 minutes or something like that.
Set an alarm clock.
Yeah. Or sometimes using the mantra instead of your watching your body can also be better, because mantra you have to recite, you have to be intentionally mindful. You know, when you're watching your body, sometimes you can just maybe just flow along and not really being mindful of what you're watching. So sometimes using a mantra with the watching of your body at the same time maybe will be better, reinforce your mindfulness. Two robes instead of one robe. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes,
but
thank you.
ideally it's better to be alone, and it's like in your room right now, no one will distract you. But then you have your defilement ones that keep push you outside of the room. Or let you stay inside the room.
Go and have it's like going having a shower and then sliding in the mud afterwards.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Next, Kenneth, professor from Switzerland.
Good afternoon, Ajaan. I have no questions at the moment. Thank you.
Okay. Wan Liman from Malaysia.
Ajaan, I'm still practicing and I'm still feeling peaceful. The 6 hours of staying in the room in one place has helped in the sitting meditation. Yeah, it has helped.
Yes, it curbs your desire, your cravings, because you're not allowed to do much anything, but just stay put in one place.
Yeah, and yesterday and today I did not go out from the house. I was at home and I feel very at peace, and it's easy to sit and calm down when I'm not moving around.
It means your mindfulness is much stronger now than before. Your mindfulness can stop your desire to do things.
After the 6 hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a good way if you can do it. Maybe not every day, but as much as possible. And next thing is to sit down and really close your eyes and really meditate, to get it inside, deep inside your mind, get into the jhanas.
Okay. Yes, because now when I sit down, I can calm down after a while, and I don't feel the breath. I don't feel the body, and I just feel very empty and still, and I can sit a bit. Longer. So all this happen after the 6 hours. It gets better. Yeah.
Did you feel good at the same time? Feel happy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Feel peaceful. Yeah.
That's what you want, is happiness from meditation, so that you can then replace it with other type of happiness.
Yes.
And you'll find eventually you don't need any essential objects to make you happy. You can be happy without anything.
I don't watch movie. I don't. Even my friend asked me to go out for Chinese New Year. I did not go out. And my family went to the beach yesterday. I did not follow. I just stay at home.
Yeah, because you got better happiness.
Yeah, yes.
So I go for something worse, something less.
Yes.
The Buddha said the happiness from meditation is the best type of happiness there is. So, okay, stick to this meditation path.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you,
you're
Ajahn.
welcome. Anura and Ramya from New Zealand.
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn. How are you? Yeah.
Good, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, no special question, but comment, Ajahn. So whenever I join, we join. It's like a treatment, medicine to the mind. So if you don't join, then I feel always a bit down. So that
Yes, the Buddha say listening to Dhamma talks or discussing the Dhamma is beneficial for the mind.
Yes. Yeah. So just a small question. One, during meditation and listening Dhamma, so when we practice, what sort of proportion we should be listening to Dhamma and practice, or 50-50, or
it depends on how much you want to know. If there's still a lot of things you don't know, then you might listen more than practice. But as you know more, then you might listen less and do more practice. Eventually, you will probably want to do 90% practice and maybe 10% listening.
Yeah.
Like when I stay with Long Ta Mahabua, he will call among for Dhammatalk meeting maybe every 4 or 5 days, once every 4 or 5 days, to reinforce the teaching, to remind them what they're supposed to do. So, but if you know what you need to do, then you need to do the practice more, because it's the practice that will get you there, not just listening to Dhammatalk. Dhammatalk is like listening to Dhammatalk is like looking at the map, and practice is like driving your car toward the destination. So once you look at the map, you know where you have to go, and you get on your car and keep driving. And occasionally you might stop and check the map whether you're on the right direction or not. Okay.
Yeah.
In my past experience, when I first started, I read Dhamma books for almost 2 months about meditation, but I never did any meditation. And then one day it just occurred to me, what are you doing? Why haven't you started? So right then I start to meditate. And when I started to meditate, then I get the result from the meditation, and that really inspires, gives you more energy to do more practice. So yes, I think the more practice you can do, the better, but you have to know the right way. If you don't know the right way, then you have to study first. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn. So and also we don't watch TV, we don't watch movies, so staying home, I think that's more conducive to the meditation, the practice.
Yeah, abstain from the sensual objects, sensual pleasure, and seek the meditation pleasure instead. Okay, are you planning to go the next Ren residence for your retreat again this year?
No, Ajahn. We'd like to, but I've been still working, so probably maybe a couple of years. But we are planning to visit Thailand, so I think we are planning to visit you next year, early next year.
Okay.
So we are going with a group, so I think they must be in contact with your assistant to find a suitable.
Did you find your last retreat beneficial to you?
Yes, definitely. It's a life-changing. So I think it's one of the best experience I had. And since then, now 6-7 months ago, we try to keep the same mode here. So we don't watch news, but sometimes we just look at the headlines on the phone and don't watch movies at all. So I think it's more contentment is the better word. So it's still trying to recall the experiences and then listen to Ajaan's talks and this Zoom meetings, all helping. I think it's bit by bit, little by little we feel good,
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Try to go to retreat as much as possible if you can.
Yes. So I think I need to retire and then do full time.
Full time.
Yeah.
And maybe become a monk.
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next, Claudia from from Germany. Sorry, Nuremberg, Germany.
Yes, good afternoon from Germany, Tana-chan. Yeah, so I would be happy to get your advice. So as you know, I work at an elementary school, and currently the situation in Germany is overstressing me. I feel so exhausted, and to me it would be so important to develop more equanimity because I experience a lot of injustice and poverty at school, and it seems that it takes my energy. And my biggest problem is to have equanimity and to say all beings are owner of their own karma. It's so difficult to accept, and so I would like to ask you for your advice how to develop more equanimity in my job as a lay person, and of course also for myself.
You need mindfulness to get to equanimity. So try to develop as much mindfulness as you can. I think the best time for you to start is when you get up. That's when you haven't yet met anybody. You can start mindfulness as soon as you open up your eyes and try to stay focused with your body or with a mantra as you go about getting ready for work, like brushing your teeth, washing your face, or taking a shower, dressing. These are the precious time for developing mindfulness, really, because you're still alone. You don't get involved in anybody. If you can do that, then you might have certain level of mindfulness carry over while you continue on with your daily activity. Get a good start, more as soon as you get up. Get mindfulness started right away.
I start with meditation each morning.
Yes.
And then I could try to keep up the mindfulness.
Continue after you finish your meditation, continue with your mindfulness. Every movement of your body, from sitting to standing to walking to doing whatever it is doing. Or you can also use the mantra to help bring your mind back if should it wander away, going someplace else. Use the mantra and watching your body at the same time.
Thank you so much.
See how far you can get with this mindfulness practice.
Yeah.
Then your mind will be calmer and more less reactive to things.
Yeah.
Then you realize, regardless how you react to things, you don't change things really, right? Things happen to people differently. And that whether you worry or you're sad or you're not sad, it doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
You cannot change things, let's put it that way. You cannot change oranges into bananas or bananas into apples.
Yeah.
Just look at them for what they are. That's what you should teach yourself. Use the simile of the fruits. People are like fruit,
Okay. Yeah. I will think of the simile of the fruits.
Yeah.
I will try to keep up the mindfulness, and I will let you know how it works when I come next time.
If you can see that everybody are different and they're subjected to the consequence of their own karma.
Yeah.
That's why this is the way they are. So you cannot change anything really. You might be able to sometime, with some people, but maybe not all the time, not with everybody.
Yeah.
Do what you can and accept whatever you cannot do.
Yeah.
Don't lose sleep over it. Don't try to change apple into banana.
Yes. Yeah. I will. It sounds very good, and I will try it, and I will let you know how it works.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're not going to school today. What happened? Holiday?
No. The good news, I was talking with my supervisors about my exhaustment. And I asked them if I can take off every first Tuesday a month to be at your conference because it helps me a lot. And my supervisor said yes, because they don't want to lose me.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
All right, that's very good.
Yeah.
So we'll see you at least once a month now.
Yes, each first Tuesday.
There you go. Okay.
And on holidays.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay, next, Ricardo from Uruguay. Are you back in Uruguay, Ricardo?
Yes, Ajaan, nice to talk to you. Nice to be again with the Sangha. We came back last week and happy to be here again.
For a while, then after a while you want to go away again.
Yes, no, yeah, I like to go back to the mountain with Ralph and all the other monks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you have any question or any comment?
Yes, I do. This morning I was practicing walking meditation as you taught me, left, right. And I could see that in my mind, there are like layers. In the upper layer, I'm saying left, right, left. But on the background, there's another layer that's making comments and trying that as soon as I get, how do you say, distracted, this layer comes up and tries to be the star of the
the dominant one. Yes,
yes.
you also that keeps still working. Your mindfulness, is still not strong enough to stop it entirely. So it keeps coming up as soon as you stop your mindfulness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's normal. It's like a tug of war between the two sides. They want to use the mantra to stop the thinking, and the thinking still resists and still want to keep on thinking.
Right.
So just stick to your mantra or to your left and right thing. Okay. And then ignore your thought. Accept that it is part of the deal.
No.
But eventually, as you become more focused, more concentrated, then the thought will become less and less.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I am more aware of how much suffering I cause myself, that all the thoughts and I have about things, the only person suffering, it's me. 2 days ago, I was almost crying because I was, I don't know, like mad or sad about how the mind keeps making thoughts and anger and suffering and all that. And I know the way you taught us how to deal with that, and I keep trying. And as I told you before, this year I'm going to practice. I'm going to retreats and all that to purify my mind.
See, you started to see the first two noble truths, the suffering and the cause of your suffering. Now what you need is to develop the other two, the path leading to the cessation of suffering, which is mindfulness, more wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
What you lack is the path you have a lot of cravings, you have a lot of cost, you have a lot of the first two truths, you know. But the second, the third and fourth truth is not available yet, not around yet. So you need to develop the fourth, which is the magga or the path, to stop your defilements, your cravings. Yeah, don't blame anybody. All your suffering comes from your own self.
True. And I'm glad that although I'm getting old, my attitude is not getting old, and I will try. And
your mind never gets old. See? It's only your body that gets old. Your mind remains the same from day one, up from birth till now. It never gets old.
Okay. And I'm very glad to have these meetings and the Dharma talks you give us to encourage us to go through the path and take the path all the way.
Yes.
So, thank you.
Okay, good. Try to do more of the path, and the suffering will be less.
Yes.
Okay, next. David. David, sir, where are you from? David?
I'm from Australia.
Australia. Can I help you?
This is the first time I've joined, and I'm just very grateful to be listening at the moment.
Okay, then. I'll go to Bangkok. Lillian from Bangkok.
Good evening, Ajaan. I only have one comment that I'm still trying to change apples to oranges every day, but I know it's not possible. But you just subconsciously do it even though you know that it's not right.
It's your habit. It's a habit that you want to keep change things to suit your liking. That's all there is to it, really.
Yes. So really need to keep working on that.
You can look at the things that you want to change. Sometimes you can change, sometimes you cannot. So change what you can, but and don't give up on what you cannot change. Accept it instead. And there will be no stress, no disappointment.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you have any questions? Okay, he has two questions.
Okay, come closer, speak louder.
Louder.
Why does monks have to wear robes? Why can't they just wear regular shirts?
Well, monks are like police, police have their own uniform, right? Monks also have to put on their own uniform. So this is, like you go to school, you have your own uniform to put on too, right? Okay. It's just uniform, that's all.
It's just uniform.
The question is, if we have a spirit next to our body, how do we get rid of it?
You cannot get rid of it. You are the spirit, and you are possessing this body. You can get rid of your body. One day your body will be gone, but your spirit will never be gone. Your spirit will be with you all the time, everywhere, with or without your body. Okay.
But if it's someone else's spirit that inside already,
other spirit cannot come and overtake your spirit or overtake your body. Each spirit are separated. So don't be afraid. Don't worry about other spirit. It's your own spirit that's fooling you to think that there's some other spirit. Okay, when you feel bad, just keep reciting Butto, Butto, Butto. When you're afraid, if something is might happen to you, just keep reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto until you feel good, until the bad feeling disappear. Okay, there's nothing to be afraid. The only thing that is to be afraid of is your own spirit.
Your own spirit.
And you can control your own spirit by using Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. When your spirit starts to misbehave, then you recite Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto.
Okay. Okay, that's it.
Understand?
Understand?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Didi.
All right.
Thank you.
Is he only your one child, or you have other
So I
child?
have another elder daughter
Daughter.
downstairs. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right then. Is that all?
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. Next, B. Ravin, also from Bangkok.
Hi, good evening, Ajaan. So, Ajaan, my question is regarding effort, mindfulness, and concentration. Do I understand correctly that we need to have effort to be able to develop mindfulness? And if we have enough mindfulness, it will help to strengthen our concentration.
That's right. You have to work on your mindfulness. Mindfulness don't come by itself, not by your command. You have to work at it. You have to build your mindfulness by constantly focusing on your body movement, or reciting the mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto, or some other mantra if you like. Otherwise, your mindfulness won't appear. And when you have no mindfulness, you cannot concentrate, make your mind to become concentrated. So effort is the driving force. Without effort, nothing happens. The Buddha says you can be liberated from suffering by effort. You need to have effort to move everything toward the goal. So you have effort is the opposite of laziness. So if you're lazy to practice, you're lazy to keep being mindful, then you won't get anything. Or if you are busy doing something else, this is considered also laziness in the way of Dhamma. Spend your time doing something else, like making money and seeking sensual pleasures. Then you won't have the time to develop mindfulness and concentration. Okay.
Yeah, because Ajaan, I observe that sometimes when I want to meditate, it's easier when I have mindfulness, but when I don't, I have to put an effort to force my mind to stop thinking. Once I can do that, then my concentration will arise. So I was just trying to make that link, that how effort helps with mindfulness and concentration.
Well, effort is the one that drives your work. If you don't have any effort, then you don't do any work. You have to put in the effort to do mindfulness once. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
I do have one more question. So effort, mindfulness, and concentration is 3 elements of the Noble Eightfold Path. If we have these 3, does it mean that the other 5 will kind of come along automatically because we understand what it is, or it's something we have to develop separately?
Well, once you have this concentration, then your mind is ready to use it to stop your defilement. But you need to know why you want to stop your defilement. And this you need to have wisdom or insight to see that what your desire wants are all temporary. And that can lead you to sadness or disappointment when you have to lose what you have. So if you don't want to lose what you have, then it's better not to have anything. That's all. That's wisdom. You see that everything is temporary, anicca. Everything is not under your control, anatta. And if you want to keep them for yourself, to have it all the time, then you will have dukkha because you will not be able to do it. So this is wisdom. You have to see that everything that your defilement wants, they are not the permanent solution. They are just temporary solution that can lead to disappointment or sadness when you lose them. The permanent solution is not to crave for anything, not to have anything. When you have nothing, then you have nothing to lose, right?
No, not at all.
And when you have nothing to lose, then there won't be any sadness.
Oh, now I remember, Thanachan. Yeah, that's right. When you mentioned that Nibbana is emptiness and emptiness is happiness.
Yeah. So the goal is to live without having anything to keep you happy. You can be happy with nothing.
All right.
But in order to live without nothing, you have to stop your craving for things.
Yeah, all the
It sounds easy. It sounds easy, but it's like kicking the habit, kicking a bad habit, like smoking. You know, smoking is not good for you. You don't need to smoke. You can exist without smoking. But if you are addicted to smoking, you cannot stop, right? Or drinking, or drugs. Everything is the same, except they might not be considered to be as extreme as drugs or alcohol. But everything that you go after, they are all like drugs. You are addicted to them. See? So you need a strong mind. You need a mind with concentration and equanimity in order to be able to do what your wisdom tells you to do, is to stop all your cravings, not to go after your craving, not to go after sensual pleasure, not to go after jhana, not to rupa jhana or arupa jhana, because these are the three types of happiness that a mind can access in the three realms of existence. And if you still access this, if you're still addicted to this type of happiness, you will keep returning back to one of the three realms of existence. If you're still addicted to sensual pleasure, you're reborn in the realms of sensual pleasure, sensual objects. If you're still addicted to jhana, you still have to come back and be reborn in the Brahma world. So if you want to be out of these three realms of existence, you have to stop your craving for all these three types of pleasures or happiness. But when you practice, you first have to move from sensual pleasures to jhana pleasures. And once you get to that point, then you want to ditch it in order to free yourself entirely. Then you get to Nibbana that way. If you're still addicted to jhana, you will still be in the Brahma realm of existence.
Oh, so even jhana, which is what we use to calm our mind to get rid of our sensual pleasures, will eventually become a defilement itself.
It's just a tool. You have to also have to ditch your tools once you finish. If you want to finish your work, if you want to start working, you have to lay down your tool. It's a tool for you to get rid of your sensual pleasure. Once you can get rid of your sensual pleasure, then you have to also get rid of your tools in order to get to freedom, to get to Nibbana.
Oh,
Nibbana is when you don't have to do anything because you don't have any cravings to stop anymore. Then when you don't have any craving, then your mind will remain peaceful all the time automatically. It's your craving that keeps your mind agitated and uncontented, discontented. So once you can get rid of all your cravings, then your mind will become automatically contented. Okay.
Yes, Ajaan, that's very insightful. Now I can relate. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Ajaan.
You're welcome. Next, Kendra. Where are you from, Kendra?
Hi, Ajaan. I'm Kendra from Singapore.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah,
I can hear you well. Yes, can hear you well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I have a question. Okay. So like at the workplace, like rushing for deadlines, I noticed that I would tend to be like quite how do I say like, okay, so I'm rushing for deadlines, and then like my bosses or colleagues will start to ask questions. If it's a quick answer, I find that I will answer them, but within myself I can feel that I'm a bit impatient already, and as they ask more questions, I would tend to revert in a like not so nice tone or like impatient tone. So then after the incident, I will like reflect and think, hey, why did I act in such a manner? And I would tend to like regret it. So I would like to seek your advice, like how should I actually how should I like react in such a situation, or like yeah, because it's not a very nice way for me to react in such a nice way to others also.
Well, you have to reposition yourself toward your colleagues. Don't think of yourself as a superior. Think of yourself as an inferior. Then you will have to be nice to them. Look at them as if they're your boss.
I don't know. I find it like it's too fast. Like when I, how do I say? Because too fast in a way, I reacted too fast, and then after that I like regret it. Even
yeah, that's because you never look at yourself as a servant. So you always think you are somebody who you can say or do anything you want. Try to act like a servant and wait and see what other people say, and then try to then talk to them nicely because you're the servant. They are your
okay, I get
employer.
Okay, I get your point. So I should learn to like submit and like
be humble. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Be humble. Don't be aggressive. Don't be. Treat yourself like a servant. Look at yourself as if you are a servant. Everybody is your boss. Everybody you come into contact with. The Buddha said, treat yourself to the lowest denominator.
Okay.
If you can treat yourself as one is the lowest denominator, and one can fit with every number, right?
Yes, okay. I will remember what you say.
Yeah, the problem is people have been trained to think of an ego, that they are good, they are smart, and they can do anything. So they usually end up clashing with other egos. So try to be egoless, be a servant, act as if you are a servant.
Okay, okay. Thank you for the advice.
You think you can do that?
I will try, but I'm not sure. So, but how before I think I will have a difficulty in a way. Like after that, I'll think, hey, I should be a servant. But at the point in time, I'm not sure if.
Just to remind yourself, I'm a servant. I'm a servant.
So yeah, I have to keep repeating it in my head.
or else you'll forget as soon as you. So keep reminding yourself, I'm a servant of this company. I'm just a janitor or somebody, and everybody else is my boss.
Okay.
So whatever they say, I have to be attentive and listen and wait until they finish talking before I can reply. And have to reply nicely also. Or else I'll be out of a job.
Yes, I understand. Okay.
Okay. It's just role playing. We are all role playing, but we don't like to play the number one role. That's causing all the problems. If we can play the number 10 role, then there won't be any problem. Let everybody be number one. You stay at number 10.
Okay. Okay. I understand.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Belinda from Singapore. What number are you, Belinda? Are you number 1 or number 10?
It changes every day, Ajaan. So it depends. Changes. Lack of mindfulness, then always number 1. Ajaan, the retreat will be on Thursday. It has been a while since I last taken a long retreat. So they asked, I want to ask you about Vedana, bodily pain. I find because I have prolonged numbness on the left toe, and it feels something that some emotion or some Vedana that has been suppressed long time. So when the mindfulness get very refined, that pain would arise. Normally when upon falling asleep. Prior to falling asleep, it would tremor. It would start to tremor just on the left leg. If the mindfulness isn't strong, the pain can shoot up to the heart. The pain can be very intense. So the last retreat I was a long retreat, and I saw that tremor arise. The habit of a child, like I just reacted by turning the body to one side and just fall asleep. Because I saw, there was this part inside that I didn't want to see the pain. So I just turned one side and the tremor stopped. So I reacted during the retreat. So I know that it's already passed. Tanajan just talked to Ricardo that our mind doesn't get old. So I like to seek Tanajan's advice. Like I'm a little nervous. Like if this thing come back again, what do I do with it? Or what do I do?
Well, you should not look at that thing. You should look at your mindfulness, whether you still have mindfulness or not. You still have Bhutto or not. If you don't have, then just keep reciting Bhutto, and that will solve the problem. The problem is you lose your mindfulness when you pay attention to the pain of the body. The goal is to stick to the mindfulness and forget about the pain. If you can forget about the pain, then the pain will not bother your mind. But as soon as you pay attention to your pain, you lose your mindfulness. Then the pain will then cause stress, disturb your mind, cause irritation or stress or pain in your mind. So you have to keep watching whether you're mindful or not. You should watch for your mindfulness 90% of the time and 10% at other things. But you tend to do the opposite. You look at other things 90% of the time, and even sometimes 100% of the time you forget about your mindfulness altogether.
Yes. One time I could see the tremor when the mindfulness is continuous. So when it comes up, it very quickly go back to the breath. At that point, then it was transformed. So it still boils back to every moment, right, Ajaan? So
That's right.
The retreat, yeah.
Because
so there's
things can happen at any time.
Yes.
So, especially when you're not mindful, then things will start to happen. But if you're mindful, things will remain still because they cannot happen when you have strong mindfulness.
So there are many ways to stick to mindfulness, Ajahn, including looking at the 4 elements. Like if I see the tremor as just bio, just air, or do I just do my best and see what Tan Lompo Sumedo guided and just follow to what the teachers, listen attentively from the moment to moment?
Well, monks find it better to go to a place where it's very scary. This will really build up your mindfulness. Go practice in the cemetery or practice in the wild forest where there are wild animals. Then you are really forced to be really careful, to be really mindful. Or else if you're in a pleasant surrounding like your home, you won't have anything to instigate your mindfulness.
The retreat will be in aircon place, and there'll be co-sharing with another person in the camp tent. So, so a lot of anticipation, also based on past experience and like how.
So don't expect much.
Yes, I think best is to keep warm. That's all I myself.
It's like kindergarten. If your retreat is air conditioned.
Yes, but that's the condition as is for that. So then I have to adjust to expectation or how I keep myself warm.
It's for beginners, people who still haven't yet practiced anything, and they cannot use the harsh environment for their practice yet. But they have to have a pleasant environment to practice. But pleasant environment doesn't help instigate your mindfulness.
So I do my best, like maybe abstain coffee, or do my best not to enjoy food.
Yes.
I just always
try to stay away from sensual pleasure as much as possible. Eat just to survive. Drink just to survive, not for the pleasure, but for survival.
Ajahn, I want to ask you, you talked to Ricardo, you say our mind don't get old. Maybe Ajahn can elaborate a bit on that, when our mind don't get old.
It doesn't get old like the body. See? The mind just know and think, that's all. It has no size or shape.
It's very bright.
You just know and think and feel, that's all. And the ability to connect to the body, to access to the sensual objects. It needs to have a connection with the body. Okay. This is not really important. What's important is mindfulness, really. Just stick to mindfulness. Build up mindfulness as much as possible. Then you'll see the mind in a different light, and you understand the mind better with mindfulness. Talking about it, thinking about it, just imagination. After we finish talking, you'll forget. So
it's that moment, that reaction at that moment.
It's not like seeing things by yourself. It will last if you see with your mind. And to see the mind, you need to have mindfulness. Okay.
Any more last advice from Tan Ajahn? Or just not to just come back from moment to moment, right? How is that what Ajahn?
Just to be present all the time in the present. Keep your mind, stop thinking about the past, stop thinking about the future, and concentrate on what's happening here and now. And try not to react to anything that happened here and now if you can. If you have to react with rationality, react with mindfulness, with metta, with loving kindness. But don't react with emotion. Okay. All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you.
All right. Next, Philip and Adeline from Malaysia.
Ajahn. I don't have any questions tonight. Just happy to listen.
Okay. Go to Alfredo from Brazil. Alfredo Ubeka.
Hi, Bante.
How are you?
Okay. Practice.
Calm and contented. Happy.
Yes. Yes. In Bojangas, Bante, 7 factors.
Seven factors of enlightenment. Ubeka is one of them.
7 factors and enlightenment.
Yeah.
It's the part final of the teachings, Bante.
Yeah.
It's good.
Okay.
The life in Samadhi, Bante, is a good life, Bante.
Yes, it's better than sensual pleasure.
Yes.
Samadhi is much better. That doesn't cost any money either. You don't have to pay. Yeah.
Yes.
If you want to watch a movie, you have to pay. If you want to go to a bar, you have to pay. But when you meditate, you don't need to pay anything.
Yes. Not have problems, Bante.
Yeah, no problem with anybody.
Yes.
It's the best way of making yourself happy, but somehow people just don't know it. People think to be happy, you have to be with other people. And then when you're with other people, you start to have problems with them.
Yes. It's good, Bante.
Yeah. This is what the Buddha called avijja or ignorant, not knowing the right way of being happy.
Yes.
Avijja thinks that to be happy, you have to be socializing. You have to have people. You have to have things. You have to have sensual objects to keep you happy.
Yes.
But everything is temporary. Everything, and when they're gone, it left you empty, left you sad, left you depressed.
Yes. It's the chocolate cake, Bante. Samadhi is the chocolate cake.
Okay.
Okay, Bante.
All right, good. I'll go to Will Rasotti or something. This is not your name, I presume. It's somebody else's name.
Hello, Bante. Good morning, good evening. It's Willery.
Willery, where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Seattle.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did you come with the group? I see.
I did with Clear Mountain. My question is, I feel very much pulled by the Dhamma, like it's really pulling me. But there's just some things that are kind of stopping me in some ways. I think specifically my niece, who I'm helping kind of raise. But otherwise, it's just pulling me, and I don't know exactly where it's pulling me. And also, I don't know. I'm trying to guide myself, and also just listening to teachers and reading. And I guess what I'm asking is, what does one do when you feel like you're being pulled and that pull is so heavy?
Well, if it's a good pull, then go with it. That's all. Yeah. The Dhamma is good. It's safe. It's beneficial. It doesn't. It is not harmful to your mind at all. It's very beneficial to your mind. It will help kill the stress that you have in your mind completely. So if you are attracted to the Dhamma, then go ahead. Do what the Dhamma wants to teach you to do. Give up your possession, give up your family, give up everything, and go live alone and develop mindfulness and meditation. But this is a difficult decision. It's not something you can, because you're not sure whether you can do it or not. So if you're not sure yet, then you should do it before you give up. Do the practice now to see if you can develop enough mindfulness and meditation so that you can be sure that you can live with meditation alone and not have to depend on any other things. So give yourself a try first. Like when you go buy clothes, you don't buy it right away, right? You put it on, see if it fits or not, if it's good or not. And when you find out it's good, it fits you, then okay, you buy the clothes.
So it's a 10-day, it's a trial. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I needed that. Yeah, it is hard.
So you might have to attend lots of retreats. 10 days is not enough, but you have, if that's all the time you have for now, then you have to do it. But if you can increase your retreat to two weeks to 3 weeks and 2 to 3 months during the rain residence or something like that, then you'll find out whether you can live under those conditions. And if you're happy, then maybe you want to do it forever.
Thank you, Ajaan.
All right. Do you still meet the group at Clear Mountain?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
The group that you came with, Clear Mountain, do you still have a meeting together?
Yes, we do. We do. Yeah.
Or once a week or once a month?
We do once a week in person and then online on Wednesdays. With Ajaan Kovaleo on Wednesdays mostly, and then Ajaan Nisaba on Saturdays.
Good. Maybe right now you should do more study first to see what you need to do, what you have to do, and then try to do what you have to do at home if you can, or go to a retreat.
Thanks,
and then
Ajaan.
you go on from there.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Gary from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajaan. No questions from me. Just listening in. Thank you.
Rahul, where are you from? I forgot last time you said. From India?
New York City.
Oh, New York City, okay. Anything to ask or say anything?
Yes, Ajaan, I had a few questions, if that's okay. First is about my meditation sitting. I sit twice in the day. I sit in the morning longer and I sit evening shorter. But I also have health issues. So when I wake up, sometimes my sleep wasn't good, or I have stomach pain or lightheadedness. In such conditions, is it still worth it to sit long, or is it better to just, if I'm not feeling well, sit short and then like sit longer later in the day? Basically, if you're not feeling well, is it still advisable to sit the same length you would normally sit? Because when I sit, it's just like, sometimes it's, my mind is everywhere, and I know like it's very hard to get concentrated.
Well, ideally, to do as much as possible, regardless of the condition of the body. If you can do that, then the condition of the body will not bother your mind. But if you're still being dictated by the condition of your body, it means your mind is still weak, not be able to rise above the conditions of the body. But if you have strong mindfulness, if your practice is good, you can practice regardless of the conditions of your body. You might have to change the posture, maybe. Like if you cannot sit, you can lay down and meditate. But the laying down for beginner can be a problem because it's easy for you to fall asleep. So we try to avoid this position unless it's necessary, like when you're sick and you cannot sit. Then at least you can still meditate while you're laying down. Don't give up meditation. Try to hold on to it for as much as possible, regardless of the conditions of your body. But it might be easy to say this, but because when your body starts to get sick or feel bad, then you lose the mindfulness to meditate. If you haven't yet reached the point where you have strong enough mindfulness to transcend the conditions of your body. So just try to do as much as possible. That's my general guideline. Don't let the conditions of your body discourage you from meditation.
Sounds good, Ajahn. I still sit like the same length regardless of how I feel. But I was just thinking if it's more optimal to like sit less when I feel bad and sit more when I feel better, but I'll stick to doing the same always.
Yeah, stick to the same or increase them as you go. If you want to advance, you have to increase more the length of your time or the more frequency of your sitting.
Sounds good. I had another question about during meditation, sometimes I can view my mind as like separate and things are happening. Like something comes in and then my mind reacts. And it's like a state machine or a mathematical function, like given a set of inputs, it produces some output reaction. Or like even sometimes I notice with mindfulness during the day, like given some input, like something I see or something I think of, and I always have like very similar responses. Is that sankhara?
Well, it is the mind watching what's going on and reacting to what's going on. And the goal for meditation is to stop the mind from reacting, just to be merely watching.
Got it. But is the reaction itself sankhara? Given
something.
No,
well, you can say sankhara. I'm not sure what it is, but it is the mind reacting to. Maybe the mind reacting by using sankhara as the tool.
Okay.
When the mind sees something it wants, so sankhara, then say, go get it then if you want, right? But it's not important to know which is which. It's important is not to react. And by teaching your mind not to react, by telling you that what you want will cause you stress sooner or later. Actually, it will start to cause you stress as soon as you want something, right? You cannot remain calm when you want something. You start to feel irritated or you feel restless already as soon as you want something. So if you see that restlessness is not good for your mind, then you should stop your want or your desire for whatever. Just to keep the mind not reacting to anything is the goal of meditation, because that's where the real contentment comes in, when you don't react with love or hate, with desire or cravings. That's the goal of using mindfulness. And with mindfulness, you can stop the mind from reacting, from craving, from desiring. But right now, at least you start to see things now. Before you used to see things in terms of your body see things. But now you know it's not the body that sees things, right? It's the mind that sees things. When you meditate, you go inside your mind. And what you want to do is to stop your sankhara, really. It's your sankhara that tells your mind to go after things. And your perception, your sanya. Sanya is the one that keeps fooling you to think that everything is good. This thing is good, that thing is good. Go after them. Then you have to develop wisdom or panya to counter your perception that everything that you see is not good for you, because they only last for a while. They don't last forever.
Got it, Ajahn. One more thing. I've recently been increasing the amount of time I sit. And over the past few weeks, I've been feeling like every day is just going by very quickly, maybe. And things that were a big deal, they're not a big deal anymore. Like things just happen and things just go through. Like I'm sort of an observer and things are happening. Is that normal? Should I be concerned?
No, that's good. That's good because you eventually find that everything is just useless to the mind. It's your delusion that keeps telling you that they are good for you. See? But when you have mindfulness and meditation, you stop going after those things. And then you realize that you can live without them. So everything come and go, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make any difference to you whether they come or go or not. That's the benefit from meditation. You start to become an observer rather than an actor. People, if they don't meditate, they're constantly reacting to things, going after things, doing this, doing that, to keep them happy. But when you meditate, you find that you're happy by just merely watching. So why bother going after things? Because whatever you go after, sooner or later you're gonna lose it anyway, right?
But you notice the suffering. When you don't meditate, you don't notice how much you suffer. But now, like, I can see the reactions.
That's right.
Like I said earlier, they're reacting, constant reacting.
Yeah. You'll find that your reaction is not good for the mind. By not reacting is the best thing for the mind.
Easier to say than to do, Ajahn.
Well, that's what you're doing right now. See, just meditating. The more you meditate, the more you become an observer and less an actor. So try to meditate all day. Then you become an observer all day instead of being an actor. Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Next, I'll go to Penang, where Get Yenso is.
John, good evening. I'm listening today. Yeah.
Okay. Go to Vancouver, Canada, with Sweden Czech.
Welcome,
Ajahn. Many participants today. I think I should give my time.
No, it's okay. We have plenty of time. Let's go ahead.
I think just a comment that I really appreciate, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure if I'm wrong, but from like before I listened, before I got to know Ajahn, I heard like other Dhamma talks about like going to the Brahma world is not a good thing, and we should try to avoid and try to be in the human realm. But after I listen to you, doesn't maybe that's not right.
No, you need to go to the Brahma world in order to get to Nibbana. You have to go from the sensual realm to the Brahma realm, then from the Brahma realm into the Nibbana realm.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I heard that last week when you talked to Sister Kwan Liman. And yeah, but like I said before, yeah, that was my understanding. So it's a wrong
So
view.
when you meditate, you're leaving the karma, the sensual realm of existing, and to enter into the Brahma realm of existence by entering into jhana. And once you get to the Brahma realm, you want to leave the Brahma realm by using wisdom to pull you out from the Brahma realms.
Okay. Yeah.
That's why an anagami doesn't go back to the sensual realm, even though if it hasn't yet reached Nibbana, it will finish the work in the Brahma realm.
Yeah, thank you for the clarification, Ajahn. Thank you for clearing the wrong view that I had before.
I think most people who hasn't experienced jhana, they don't see the benefit. They think that this is something unnecessary. You know, they think you can use wisdom right away and get you to nibbana without relying on jhana or meditation or samadhi.
From my from my what I listen, it seems to come from the story of the two teachers of the Buddha that went to the Brahma realm, and then it was from the story that I heard is like they say it's too bad that they couldn't get enlightened. So they instead of being like getting enlightened, they have to go to the Brahma realm for a long time, and I think it seems like the misunderstanding probably come from that.
Well, see, it's unfortunate for them to die before the Buddha became enlightened. Yeah. So no one could tell them the way to Nibbana. So when the Buddha became enlightened, he thought of these two teachers first of all, because he knew that they are the most ready for the wisdom that he had discovered. And once they just have heard of it, they will be able to reach Nibbana right away. But unfortunately, they die. And once they die, even the Buddha with his psychic power cannot reach them in the Brahma realm of existence. If they happen to be reborn in the Deva realm, then it's still possible for the Buddha to reach them, like his mother. And taught his mother to reach the first level of enlightenment. But with the Brahma realm, it's like you're turning off your phone. You don't connect with anybody. Okay.
But it's not unfortunate, right? I just like it's for their case it is, but people interpret that we should be reborn as a human and not the Brahma.
I know you are now a human, so why you worry about reborn as a human again? You don't want to reborn again. This is your last human life. You know? So keep practicing the Noble Eightfold Path so you don't have to reborn as anything anymore.
But it's not unfortunate, right? It's not like let's say we
it's unfortunate in the sense that before the Buddha became enlightened, no one knows the path to Nibbana. And the highest path, the highest level they can reach is the Brahma realm of existence. But this is unfortunate because this Brahma realm of existence is temporary. It's impermanent. So eventually they will have to be reborn as a human again. And then when they're reborn, they'll come back and practice meditation again because that's the only thing they know how. And that's they find happiness from. That's why when people in this world we have people who ordain, who lives as a recluse, because that's what they used to do in the past lives. People who used to have husband and wife, they'll come back and have more husband and wives. But people who used to be ordained as monk, they'll come back and ordain as monk again. So it's unfortunate for them because when they return, maybe the teaching of the Buddha might disappear from this earth already. Because as a Brahma, they might exist for many thousand years. And by the time they lost their status as a Brahma and come back as a human, it might be too late for them to see the Dhamma teaching. So they have to wait for the next Buddha, or they themselves to become Buddha themselves. Or else they'll just keep coming back and still return coming back in this cycle of birth and death. Until they come across the teaching of the Buddha, either directly meeting the Buddha or his disciples or his teaching. Like us, we don't meet the Buddha now, but we still have his disciples around and his teaching around to guide us toward Nibbana. But the problem with us is, even though we meet, we still don't take advantage of this opportunity. We still cling to our sensual pleasure. We cannot give up the sensual pleasure and live a meditative life. So our coming across the Buddha's teaching is useless, because we're not using it to the best of the benefit that we can get. Okay. Anything else?
May I ask another question? Sotapanna they have equanimity. How come they're not reborn in the Brahma realm?
Because they still have sensual cravings. They still want to have a husband and a wife. It's the next two levels where we eventually stop all sensual pleasure. When you use a super, when you see everybody as a super, as a living corpse, instead of having any desire for anybody, and you don't have any sexual desire left, then you won't be reborn in the sensual realm anymore.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Next, Kafai Lim from Malaysia.
Good day to you, Ajahn. I have no question today, just listening. Thank you.
Kok Seng from Singapore.
Yeah. Good evening, Ajahn. This coming Thursday, I'm going for the retreat under Ajahn Sumedho. I have one concern, and that is last year October, I went for a physical health screening, and I was found to be underweight, and the doctor advised me not to skip my dinner, and that I have to take my dinner every day, so that my weight will be increased. So since then, I have been not been skipping any dinner at all in October. So this coming retreat, I would have to take 8 precepts and no meals after lunch. So I'm a bit concerned whether, about this no meals after noontime.
Well, look at people who give the 8 precepts like me for 40 years, and I didn't die from not eating dinner. So why should you be afraid of not eating dinner for a few days and die from it? I think it's your delusion trying to dissuade you from going to do the practice. That's all. Your defilement doesn't want you to keep the 8 precepts. Your defilement wants to eat and eat. Look at the Buddha and all his noble disciples. They only eat once a day. And they didn't die from that, did they?
Actually, prior to the health screening, I would just I would try to skip my dinner to practice having 2 meals a day. So when I told the doctor that there are times when I skip dinner, so he said, no, cannot skip dinner. That's when I feel that I may have to listen to the doctor's advice not to skip dinner. Yeah.
Then you're not following the Buddha's advice. So who you want to follow, the Buddha or the doctor?
Okay. I'll follow the Buddha's advice.
Okay. All right, next. Who else? Somchai from Pennsylvania. Somchai, can you hear me?
He turned off the.
He's gone.
Okay, I ask him again.
Is he back?
I call him again. Let's see.
We'll go to somebody else first. He'll come back later, maybe. Okay, from Evie from Indonesia. Okay, Evie, you've been away. What happened to you? Cannot hear you.
Cannot hear me.
Well, not loud enough.
Not enough. Okay. I love this.
Maybe put the microphone close to your mouth when you speak.
Can Ajahn hear me?
Yeah, now good.
That's good. Yeah, I'm not joining for these 2 weeks because New Year, the situation is not possible to join Zoom. The family get together, very crowded. So the second week, I attend a funeral in my family. So during the Chinese New Year, 2 of my family die because that doesn't look at the situation whether it's a big day or ordinary day. That comes anytime, Ajahn.
Okay.
Yeah. And last week, a famous monk in Medan passed away. Maybe
Yes, I
Ajahn
heard.
know.
Yes, I heard. Someone sent me the video of the cremation.
Yeah, he is known as Arahan. I often see him when he was alive, and he is very have a wisdom, Ajahn, very wisdom, and I feel lost the wisdom monk. Maybe like Ajaan Suchart also.
Don't worry about me. Worry about yourself. Worry about yourself more. Don't lose yourself.
Yeah. I still not have question, Ajahn, because I feel so lazy now.
Okay. You should use effort to counter your laziness.
Yeah. I think
Put in
everybody
the
must
effort.
pass.
Put in the effort. Work hard.
Must pass this moment, the lazy moment, Ajahn. Why I still in the lazy moment.
Well, you can remind yourself that laziness doesn't get you anywhere. If you want to get someplace, you have to get rid of your laziness.
Still meditate, but only 1 hour. Only 1
Okay,
hour.
starting at 1 hour, and then maybe adding more as you go along.
Yeah, Ajahn.
Okay.
I will try.
All right. Next, Alvin Lee from Malaysia.
Good evening, Tanajan. Tanajan, going back to Chet's question on going through the Brahma realm, just to clarify, Tanajan, you mean that as a human practitioner, for us to reach Nibbana, we have to go through the Brahma realm, which is you have to attain jhana first, right? Not that you have to born in the Brahma realm, right? You can be straight from human to enlightenment, but you have to go through the Brahma realm, that is achieving the 4 jhanas, right?
Yes, you have to have the jhanas.
Right.
To replace your sensual pleasure, you need to use the pleasure from jhana.
Right. And the wisdom, then only you can achieve.
Then you need wisdom to tell you to not to rely on jhana to keep you happy. Because the true happiness comes from having no cravings. To stop all your cravings, even cravings for the jhana.
So what you mean is this whole lifetime you will reach a Brahma realm through the jhana, and eventually from the jhana you come out, you attain the wisdom and hence enlightenment.
Yes, you have to use wisdom to get rid of your sensual pleasures, your pleasure from with the jhanas, because you see them as anicca, dukkha, anatta.
Okay, Dhanajan, very clear now. Thank you.
Okay. Next, Amy W. Where are you from? Seattle also?
Oh, good guess. No, I am involved with Clear Mountain, but I live in Toronto, Canada.
Okay. You say you're part of the Clear Mountain group?
Yeah.
Did
I
you
live
come with
thousands of
them?
miles away from Seattle, but they have a lot of virtual events.
Did you come with them to Thailand last time?
Yeah, unfortunately not.
Okay. Can I help you?
Yes, I've been watching a lot of your videos, and I've been learning a lot about the importance of developing mindfulness as a start. And so I've been following some of your guidance about the importance of stopping your mind from thinking, using the different techniques, chanting or watching your breath, or keeping your body prisoner. I heard you say that once. And so my question is about strong emotions. So when they come up, I try to use a mantra to make it go away, I guess. And that seems to help, but it doesn't seem to make it disappear permanently a lot of the time. So then it comes back, and sometimes it's even stronger. And it seems that I have to involve some thinking at that point to look at what I'm not willing to let go of.
You have to use wisdom. Mindfulness can only stop it from time to time, but cannot get rid of them permanently. The only way to get rid of them permanently is to use wisdom. That is, to see that everything that you react to have the three characteristics of existence, so that you will stop reacting to them. When you see that by getting involved with them, it can cause you emotional reaction sooner or later. But if you have any involvement with them, then you would only have just the rational reaction rather than the emotional reaction. Like somebody you don't know, when you don't react to them emotionally, like somebody you know, right? Because you're somebody you know, you already get involved with them. But if somebody you don't know, you don't get involved with them, so you can leave them alone. You can take them as they are. But with somebody you're involved with, then you want to mold that person to be according to what you want. And when you cannot get it, then you get emotionally reaction. So try to not to be involved in anything by seeing that they are something like you cannot always control or change, like apples into oranges or something like that. You have to learn to accept apples as apple, oranges as oranges. Then you won't have any emotional reaction to them. So you have to see everything as anicca, dukkha, anatta. In summary, everything is changing. Everything is not under your control. They are like the weather. You don't usually react emotionally to the weather, right? Because you know you cannot do anything with the weather. You just have to accept the weather as it is. So this is the way you should look at everything, like the weather. Get it?
Yes, thank you, Ajahn. I have a follow-up if that's okay.
Sure.
Thank you. Yeah, I've gleaned from your teachings that, you know, that you can't have proper wisdom without having achieved good mindfulness and sati. So I'm wondering, how can I investigate these situations and those things now before I've achieved better mindfulness?
You can investigate all you want, but it will not be effective. That's all. You can see that they are anicca, dukkha, anatta, but you cannot stop your involvement. You still have attachment, or you still have clinging or desire for them. Only when you have jhana, when you have equanimity, then you can become detached from them. Especially when you see that they will cause you dukkha sooner or later. But you can contemplate all you want right now. And that's what we do most of the time. We read about anicca, dukkha, anatta, but we are not able to do something about it. You know, to not get involved, or not to have any desire for them or being attached to them. We cannot leave them alone. We still rely on them, depending on them to keep us happy. That's because we're not happy inside. But once you have jhana, you have equanimity, then you have happiness within yourself. Then you don't have to rely on the happiness out from the outside. Then you can leave out everything outside alone. When you see that they are anicca, dukkha, anatta.
Is it still worth it to try and contemplate, or just forget about it and keep mindfulness?
Well, to tell you the truth, it's not worth it because it's useless. You cannot do anything with it. You have too much of it already. You know everything already, but you cannot detach, you cannot relinquish them. So you need jhana to be able to have a strong enough mind to be able to let go of everything. Okay, so if you want to practice, then you have to start at mindfulness and jhana first, and then wisdom comes easily because we already have so much of it already. Yeah. But if you haven't studied, then you have to study. But it's not too late, you know, because you don't need it until after you have jhana. That's when you need wisdom. But if you have wisdom before jhana, it's useless. It's like having a knife, but you haven't eaten. You don't have the strength to do anything. You have a knife, and you can use the knife properly, effectively. So you have to rest, eat, and have a full stomach, and rest it, and then you feel strong. Then you can use the knife to cut anything you want. Okay, you see the simile? Wisdom is like a knife. Yeah. And the mind, jhana is like food for the body. You have to give the body food and have the body rested. So that when it's fully rested and full, then it's strong, it's ready to go to work. So right now, our mind are all weak. We don't have jhana, we don't have equanimity. So we react very easily to things emotionally because we cannot stop it. With jhana, with equanimity, we can stop all this emotional reaction. So if you want to really get anything out of your practice, I think you have to do mindfulness and samadhi first to get to jhana, to get to equanimity. This is the hard part, and that's what people don't like, because you have to live in seclusion. You have to give up all your sensual pleasure activities. But with wisdom, you feel that you can doing both at the same time. You can contemplate on wisdom, but you can still watch TV, you can still eat what you want. But what does it bring you? Nothing, right? Okay. Good enough?
Very clear. Thank you. That's a great simile. Appreciate it. Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Next is Ryan. Ryan, where are you from?
Good evening, Ajahn. I'm from Singapore.
Yes, can I help you?
Yes, Ajahn. So my question is, you did mention before that if we're not full-time meditators yet, then keeping the 8 precepts might not be so helpful. So that's why I wanted to clarify. So because, as lay people, we work, right? So we can't really full-time formal meditation. And in such a case, would doing 8 precepts continuously still be beneficial? Or as much as we can? Yeah.
Well, see, the goal of keeping the 8 precepts is to provide you with the time to meditate. Because when you keep the 8 precepts, then you cannot do any sensual activity, sensual pleasure activity. Then you would have the time to go do meditation instead. But if you only have the time to meditate for half an hour a day, keeping the 8 precepts doesn't really help. You can keep the 5 precepts and you can still meditate for half an hour.
What about from the perspective of, because for monks you follow the patimokkha, the discipline very strongly, right? So there's a sense of developing that mental fortitude in keeping the discipline. So for us lay people, it seems like the 8 precepts is something that would help us to develop that sense of mental fortitude as well.
Well, actually, the real precept that the monk keeps are the 5 and the 8 precepts, or the 10 precepts. Really, the rest of them are just etiquette rules. That's all, to behave properly, like how to eat, how to do things, how to talk, and all these things. They are more etiquette. But the real precept are just the 10 precepts for the monks. But see, in order for you to keep the 8 precepts, you would not have to work. If you work, then keeping the 8 precepts is useless, because you won't have the time to meditate anyway. The 8 precepts is for people who's not working, for instance, but still go out to do sensual pleasure activities, like going to parties, going to movies, going on a holiday, and things like this. And if you keep the 8 precepts, then you will prevent it from doing this activity. Then you will then have the time to go meditate, to go stay in a meditation retreat. So that's what the 8 precepts are supposed to do, to help to prevent yourself from doing other activities that will take away the time for your meditation activity.
So if, let's say we have to work, then keeping 8 precepts would give us more time at night to meditate, wouldn't it, Ajahn?
Well, yes, also if you want to. If you can meditate, by the time you get home at night, you want to go to sleep.
Maybe instead of eating dinner, we can take a nap and then we can meditate.
Yes, if you can keep the 8 precepts and do more meditation after you come back from work, it's all okay. It's good. Now instead of watching a movie before you go to sleep, you meditate for 2 hours instead. If you keep the 8 precepts, instead of sleeping with your friend, your girlfriend, or whoever, you abstain from doing that. Then they use the time that you spend sleeping with your friend to do meditation instead.
Thank you, Ajahn. My second question is, I have this thought of, because the reason why we're all here is because of karma, right? Karma is what causes us to keep going around this cycle of rebirth.
No, it's our sensual cravings that keep us coming back.
I see. And it causes us to create good and bad karma.
That's right. Because when you want something, then you have to do karma. Sometimes good or bad karma depends on how difficult it is for you to get what you want.
And if let's say for us to develop on the path, when the mind is totally purified, does it mean that we stop creating karma altogether at the stage of, let's say, Arahant, for example?
Yes, no more new karma. Every activity will just be merely action without any driving force. The driving force are the cravings. So if there's no cravings, then action would not be considered to be karma, in the sense that causing you to reborn again.
I see. So the mind doesn't react, and as a result of that, there's no karma from all the sensory experience.
The mind doesn't react with defilement, but it can still react with rationality or Dhamma. It doesn't react out of greed or out of anger or something like that, but it reacts out of reason.
Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay. Who's next? Diana. Okay, Diana.
Greetings, Ajaan. They were talking about the Brahma realm, and in Buddhism, there's no concept of God. That's right, isn't it?
Well, Brahma considered to be God in the Hindu world. Or, they have creator God, they have destructive God. And they are usually Brahmas, different type of Brahman.
Is there a concept of universal consciousness?
Well, according to Buddhism, the mind is universal. Every mind are the same. The mind is the thinker and the knower and the feeler.
And we're all connected through that consciousness.
We're not connected through the consciousness. We are connected through our cravings. You have cravings for sexual pleasure, you have to go look for somebody that you can have sex with. So you're connected with them that way. It's through your sensual cravings that keep us connected together. Once you don't have any sexual desire, then you live like a monk, so you're not connected to anybody.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, who is next? I saw Amanda just now, and she just gone. Is she still around, Amanda?
She's gone.
Okay, she's gone. And Sulan hasn't shown up yet. Sulan, are you around somewhere? Maybe not in today. Okay, we have no bit time left for more questions from Check. Check, you raise your hand.
I don't have question, but I just want to help out my friend Metta Vandana. She said she's waiting, but she couldn't get in. I'm not sure if admin can help, like Metta Vandana, to get into the room.
Yeah,
she's in the
good
waiting
boy,
room.
can you get her into the room? Maybe good boy thing is out of time. We are running out of time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just want to help her.
Okay, if Metta Vandana is waiting in the waiting room, please let her in. Two people waiting in the room.
She's coming in.
Okay, great. All right, Vandana. It's cold in California. Huh? You have to put on a hood. You have to turn on your microphone first. Unmute your microphone. Unmute your microphone.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn. So it's not in my control to unmute myself until somebody let me. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Thank you, Ajahn. So it's not in my control to unmute myself until somebody let me. I have the Facebook video also running. Thank you, Ajahn. So it's not in my control to unmute myself until somebody let me. I have the give me a minute so I can.
I think we have some feedback.
Yeah, I'm trying now.
Why don't you turn off your Facebook? Yeah, okay.
I did. I'm so sorry because I was just also putting my comment in the box. So thank you so much, Ajahn. I'm trying to follow your advice about being mindful, and I kept the 8 precept for one day, and then I was successful in doing it. I ate my lunch around 1 o'clock and nothing afterwards. I just have one question about because I'm trying to do meditation on the floor now since I'm sleeping on the floor. But I have a pain in my left knee because it's an old injury. I got hurt. I fell down long time, 20 years ago, and then it still comes. So is it okay? I don't want to ignore it, and I try to be compassionate towards my own body. So I just try to be mindful and change the position. Is it okay to do it?
It is okay to do it, but you are compromising your meditation results. So it's like every time you move your body, you are restarting your meditation from zero again. So you might be meditating to a point, then when you start to move your body, then you are restarting your meditation. You go back to zero again.
Actually, Ajahn, that's the thing I want to mention, that I do not start from the scratch. It's still, I'm in the same state and I go into the same state right away. So that's, I'm not, but because that knee hurts so much, then I have to give attention to it. But if you think I can.
Maybe you can sit on a chair, see if you can sit on a chair instead. Because if the pain is permanent or it lasts, it's not from your meditation, then you cannot do anything about it. You just have to accept that it's part of your what you call obstacles.
Yeah, it is creating an obstacle.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out the way so I don't have to compromise. But I increased my time for meditation because in Clear Mountain now, Ajahn Kovilo is doing 7 days meditation with us, 4:30 to 5:30 in the morning, and in the evening we do half an hour. So I have increased during the day also, like 2 hours, maybe more than that. So it's working really good, and I'm trying to control my eating habits. So that's the main issue which is coming right now. So I'm working on it. Thank you so much for your push. Actually, that's what I feel like, that I needed that as a pull, as someone else says, that is Dhamma is pulling me, and I have to just keep going with it because I can see the fruit of meditation. I can feel the bliss, joy arises. And I just have to work on my mindfulness more. So thank you so much. That's what I wanted to ask you about the pain. Yeah.
If you feel that you have to move your body every time there's pain, then the only thing you can do is try to practice by restraining your cravings or your desire to move around. Force yourself to sit or stand at one spot. Sit for a while. When you still feel painful, you stand up.
Okay.
And just doing these 2 positions, but you might have to do for a longer period of time, like 3 or 4 hours or something like that, to get any result. Seeing your mind becoming calmer because you have resisted your craving, so you decide to move around.
Okay, so you're suggesting for 1 hour when I start to have pain, then I just stand up and do walking meditation and then come back?
Not even walking, just standing meditation. Just to relieve the pain.
Instead of
relieve the pain.
Okay,
and after the pain it disappears, you feel like you want to sit, and then you come back and sit again. But you might have to do this for many hours to really get any result.
Okay. So you're saying that instead of adjusting the position, I should just stand up and then after a few minutes, I sit down again. Okay.
Yeah, or you can stand for as long as you want until you feel like you don't want to stand anymore, and then you sit down. But you don't want the mind to do anything else besides just these two things, standing and sitting.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so the new semester, the spring semester has started. I'm teaching 5 classes, but still my pull for the Dhamma is maybe double now. So the work has improved a lot because I don't have to prepare for anything. Thank you so much. The meditation is very, very helpful, Ajahn.
Okay, you're welcome. Welcome to our last participant, Sulan from Singapore.
Hello, Ajahn. Nice to see you again. Yeah.
Okay, last Sunday I didn't have a chance to read your question. I had to close the meeting.
Oh, sorry. I was also kind of like thinking how to craft the question, like trying to get some clarity. Then after that, I typed a bit slow. Then the question came in quite late. Yeah. And
you have any question tonight?
Yeah, so maybe I can continue on the question last Sunday. Was that that after I asked the question, then I did try to I made a small donation to a elderly. Then after that, I dedicated my week. Not right after, like when I felt more like I have some space. Yeah. After that, I got try to chant a bit. Then after that, I dedicate my week to my friend's grandma who is in a critical condition. But I don't know if it works. Yeah.
It's very difficult for me to hear your question because your sounds kind of vary, sometimes loud, sometimes soft. So it's...
Maybe I come closer to.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe better.
Oh yeah. I was saying that like last Sunday I asked the question on like how can I actually help my friend's grandma because she's in the hospital in a critical condition. So it took me some time to craft my question. So then after that, what I did was I made a small donation, and then I dedicated merit. I didn't dedicate merit right away. Then I did some chanting. Like after I did the chanting, then I dedicated merit. But I don't know if it works.
Normally, dedicating merit is to the departed, not to someone who's still living. For someone who's still living, it's better for them to make the merit themselves. They'll get more merit that way. But for those who die, they cannot make any merit, then they have to rely on the dedicated merit from the living.
Okay.
So, so maybe it's not possible when somebody is sick to make any merit, except they can do meditation or mindfulness. Excuse me. So usually it's hard to help somebody who's already sick, I'm sorry, something's stuck in my throat.
Oh, no worries. Ajahn, you rest a bit and drink some water.
Sometimes I swallow my own saliva or something. Anyway, I think that's about all the time we have for tonight, okay? Thank you for your participation. I hope this meeting had benefit and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
ที่อาจารย์
สาธุเจ้าค่ะ
Sadhu, sadhu.
Thanks for name. Bye everyone.
Bye everyone.
Good night,
Bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. ขอบคุณคุณบอยคุณหลาครับ สวัสดีครับ
คุณละ night
Bye bye.
บ๊ายบายค่ะ
Bye bye ครับ
Bye.